Hey folks, it's me, Eddie G, DM Fumble, and this is Fumbling Around. Let's get right into it. The OGL battle is over, for now. Earlier today, in the middle of the OGL 1.2 feedback window, WotC did what nobody thought was going to happen. They seemingly walked back every one of their intentions, as described in OGL 1.1 and 1.2. Furthermore, they stated that the current OGL, 1.0a, will remain as is, unaltered and seemingly irrevocable. Furthermore, they expanded what would be included in their Creative Commons release to include everything in the SRD 5.1, not just the game mechanics that they previously announced, but all SRD monsters. Now remember, there's a few monsters that you might think of as D&D type monsters that aren't included in the SRD. Those are things WotC considers their exclusive IP, things such as Beholder and Mind Flayer. This also includes all the spells. And again, there are a few named spells that, again, directly tied to their IP, so they're slightly altered. For example, Tasha's Hideous Laughter is now just Hideous Laughter since Tasha is a specific character that they own, and this change or this alteration of all named spells has always been in effect, even going back to the 3E days. And as they say, once we release it as Creative Commons, which they did effective Friday, January 27th, it can't be undone. They also revealed the preliminary results of the feedback, as if to disprove the accusation that feedback was just being ignored. Then that was a claim, honestly, I felt was dubious at best. Additionally, they've closed down that feedback window since they're basically capitulating to all of the community's demands. They are planning to have an open discussion with various YouTubers and fans. I guess my invitation got lost in the mail, to further add clarity and transparency as they close out this chapter. So what happened here? One might say it was just the vocal community that spoke out as soon as it was known what was going on with this new OGL and the effects on the old OGL. And the fact that they would not take away spotlight from this topic. I do think that is a very important aspect of what happened here, but there are other forces, I feel, played into their current decision process. So yes, vocal community, they would not let this issue go away. Every day, someone, multiple people, were releasing videos about all aspects of the OGL, why it couldn't be terminated, why it was a bad idea, how they've lost community trust, they being WotC and Hasbro and so forth. When Hasbro and WotC saw no end in sight for this daily stream of video and negative content, they realized this was not going to blow over, as they may have initially thought. Also, I think another big issue is that this issue was starting to spill over into mainstream news. If all this chatter is just taking place within a gaming community on Twitter, on YouTube videos and so forth, that's one thing. But when it gets picked up and spills out into NPR, Washington Post, and other news sources, that is a whole different level of issue that is, affecting WotC and Hasbro, and they don't really want that kind of spotlight on them. Next, I want to say that I think the boycotts were really doing a great job. It was affecting their bottom line, and it was immediately noticeable, especially with those D&D Beyond cancellations. I mentioned previously that those canceled subscriptions probably cost the company about $1.5 million in revenue looking forward to next year. And further, a strong and vocal call for boycotting the upcoming movie had to have weighed heavily on Hasbro's decision process. They have a lot of money tied up in this movie. Not just this movie, the marketing and the related books and toys around it, but also the idea that this could be the beginning of a franchise. They've got other avenues that they might want to spin off into. Some they're even talking about already. So the idea of this movie tanking because of what was going on related to OGL certainly had to have had some impact in their decision process. Lastly, I want to say that I think the speed with which third-party publishers stepped up. Almost immediately, there were talks of Piezo creating a new version of the OGL, the ORC. And then, of course, the a Black Flag project, I believe, from Cobalt Press to create a new companion or a new version of a similar SRD. If left unchecked, these third-party procedures and frameworks would put in place direct competition with D&D on a level that it hasn't had since the OGL came into being. Now, these projects are still going to happen. That's not without a doubt. But right now, WotC now has some time to maybe win some people back, gain some of that trust back. Only time will tell if they can right the course of the mistakes they've already made. All this controversy was basically stealing all the wind out of WotC's sails. There's no talk of the movie right now. Heck, they even tried to announce the new TV show, and it was seen as ill-timed and inappropriate in light of what was going on. They haven't been able to do any press for the new adventure book, the Tales from the Golden Vault. And if finally, if reports are correct, Hasbro may have had a soft holiday and might not have great numbers on their next earnings call, which is going to be in a few weeks. If they have to report a bad holiday and still have OGL issues and possible boycotts looming over them, that is going to just further upset investor confidence in the next quarter. So while this battle is over, I fully expect that someone somewhere in Hasbro is doing an after-action report or a post-mortem to see what went wrong this time around. What can they do next time? Because believe me, there will be a next time. There will be actions that they want to take before the launch of 1D&D in 2024 that the community might not like. And they're going to have a better, stronger game plan in place as they move forward with whatever it might be to, exclusive tabletops or the exclusive content of 1D&D. There will be a new OGL or a new SRD that goes around 1D&D. That's, I think, should be expected. Again, all of this comes on the heels of what they've already said. They feel the player base is under-monetized. They will be taking action to correct that perception. If you like this and my other D&D content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe and notify. Please share this content and this channel with a friend. It is a small channel, but it does keep growing thanks to people like you. If you want to follow me on social, I'm DM Fumble, drop the E, on Twitter and Instagram. Good night.